I love how men constantly question women's credentials. Like uh Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's not a doctor. Da, 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 da. They'll do a whole deep dive into Dr. Cheyenne Bryant's credentials and try to discredit her education, her wealth of knowledge, whatever, right? Whether you agree with her or not, I don't care. But I'm just talking about the practice of trying to discredit a woman for simply saying things that a man disagrees with, right? But then men will turn around and exalt a man and uplift a man who is essentially like the counterpart of a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Like a man, there's this, I'm going to show you like clips of this man. He says that he's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I think it's a psychologist. And he may very well be a psychologist. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying I'm not going to discredit or take away from his education simply because I disagree with him, right? And I do disagree with him. But and he is also proof that you can have a formal education in something and still be completely wrong because you are allowing your implicit biases to cloud your education and your better judgment, right? He's gonna be a prime example of that, right? And it's like I said, so instead of me tearing down his education, especially him being a black man, I'm not gonna do that. Same thing with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I wouldn't do that with her as a black woman. I am going to simply disagree with his talking points and with his rhetoric because that is what it's all about, right? Or at least that's what it should be about.
So what was the, first reaction when you saw the show Adolescence, which is, like, based in self-insert?
I understand why it's extremely appealing. I understand why it's going viral. I understand why I believe it's the third most watched show on Netflix history after being out for such a short amount of time, which is crazy. But it's wildly off in most ways in which they try to categorize what's actually going on. I'm being honest with you.
It's uh, it's not wildly off. It's not wildly off. Already off the rip. I real before he even tells you, I could tell you right off the rip how it's not wildly off because it is since then I have come across so much information on how fast the algorithms on these applications seek out young men and feed them red pill rhetoric. So right off the bat, and at its core, if you think about what adolescence was about, at its core, that was the thing that it exposed was how little boys are indoctrinated and how they have access to this content and how parents don't even like parents are oblivious to it. That's what I got from it as a parent, even though I already know that it happens. And I'm hyper aware because I'm always watching what my kid is watching, right? But that is what I took from it from as a parent. If you're gonna sit here and tell me that it was wildly off, you're already being disingenuous. You're already being disingenuous because that was not wildly off. That was very accurate, very accurate. How he got the information was very accurate. Like it was not far fetched at all. It was very accurate.
And the problem with it is several things. But the first is they clearly did not use an expert on incel culture. Any expert on go on YouTube when you get the chance and type in incel experts review um adolescence
Mhm.
and see all the data they have in comparison to how the show tried to cover it to a degree. And it was only
I did it. I watched. I think at least two. I actually did commentary on one of them. They in the people who were trying to discredit um adolescents. They were wrong. They were lying. It was hilarious to watch. Like I was like, oh, they're like lying about incels. Like, yeah, it- adolescence is very accurate. I don't care what adolescence is very accurate, extremely accurate, extremely accurate. I don't. Anybody that tries to discredit it from this angle, I already know you're a bad faith actor. All off the rip, right? I have to question what is your agenda now? What is your agenda? You want to discredit adolescents. Why? Why?
Only 4 episodes, so there was only but so much, of course, that they could do. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I loved, and I think they did get right. And it was very subtle, and I don't know if people actually picked it up enough. The first is when the two detectives were walking through the school.
Yeah.
And they're trying to engage with the students, and it's very clear, like they're just missing it. Students aren't saying anything. Nobody's really wanting to work with them. Like they're just getting all this resistance. They're not really getting anywhere in terms of their investigation. And the lead detective, after he talks with his son, and his son talks about the red pill, and he's asking his son, "Did you see the Matrix?" And his son's like, "What's the Matrix? Like, what are you talking like?" And they captured the confusion
Mhm.
of people who aren't in it,
Yes.
won't do this for a living, who aren't psychologists, who aren't psychiatrists, who aren't in mental health, who aren't in these spaces,
Mhm.
even people who are talking about it all the time. If you're not in it, you don't actually get it.
I'm in it every single day, day in, day out. I'm telling you, without a doubt, adolescence was very accurate. It was very accurate. Without a doubt. I've spoken to scores of incels, tons of them. Every day almost that I engage with. I mean, I used to go live every day, 3 to 4 hours a day for 3 consecutive years. I can tell you without a doubt that, and I spoke to tons of incels. They were very, adolescents represented them very well, very accurately to the ones that I actually encountered on the daily.
When I talked about that mountaintop thing, you don't know what it's like to be considered invisible and useless to both men and women. You don't get it. You don't know that feeling. I don't care if you're the most unattractive. If you saw the show, what was it, My 400, 500 pound life or something like that, with
Right.
these people where they got to get cranes and break down doors to move these people. Why all these women got men?
What? Great question. I've always
It's because she still, as a woman by default, she's still going to have value with some man.
The men have women too. The heavy set men be having women too. That's weird out here trying to frame that, but okay, let's keep going.
wow.
And this is he's a psycho. Why is he using show references? Why isn't he using actual data? Like you would think, I'm saying, like, I'm Joe Schmo Blow on the internet, right? You whatever. You can take it with a grain of salt. But you're supposed to be a specialist. Why aren't you using actual data to support your claim? And he also didn't say how the incels, how the people who study incels, what were their claims, how they got it wrong. Like, what did they get wrong? He just said they got it wrong. Go look it up for yourself. No, what did they get wrong? And then he ended up agreeing with some portion of it. What did they get wrong? What did they get wrong? This is what I'm saying. This dude is supposed to be like a professional. Like, I expect more from a professional. If he was just like a weirdo incel dude on the internet talking, I expect this from them, right? But the truth of the matter is that no, it doesn't matter what your credentials are. If you are misogynistic, if you buy into the patriarchy, you sound like a dummy. You sound uninformed. You can have a great education. You can be intelligent in so many other ways. But as soon as you start talking like a cult member of the patriarchy, you sound ill-informed. You sound like an idiot, like this dude. You sound disingenuous. You're not making any sense. You're fucking citing anecdotal examples of my 600-pound life. Like, what are you talking about, brother?
But at a certain age.
She's still, but again, if the first 60 years of you living, you're seen as valuable to somebody, that matters. Versus in comparison, you can go your entire life and be considered a genetic dead end.
That is actually so interesting.
Yeah.
So on the show, these are lead detectives whose job it is to learn, to question, think of things on multiple levels, and they had no idea that there's a subculture
Yeah.
of bullying and ostracization
Mm.
amongst not just boys doing this to each other, but on social media,
Mm.
other people who you may not even know also saying things about you, also targeting you. And it's not just the bullying and the tactics, it's also the shaming, it's also the rejection, it's also being seen as invisible.
This is Darvo, what he's doing right now. This dude is disgusting, by the way. I don't even I'm 10 minutes into whatever, 7 minutes into this clip, and this dude is disgusting. Like, I'm already like, what the fuck? So incels who invented trolling, who invented like online bullying, pretty much, incels are the ones who started that. He is reversing it and saying they're the ones being bullied. What? How did we get here? How did we get to incels are the ones they're victimized? Are you on drugs, my brother? Are you stupid? Or are you disingenuous? Which one is it? Dumb, stupid, or on drugs? I'm sorry, disingenuous, dumb, or drugs. Disingenuous, drugs, or dumb. The 3Ds. That's how we gonna start. Which one is it? Which one is it? Could be a combination of one or two or three, to be honest with you. But no, which one is it? Because that's not what's going on. Men Who Hate Women. Go read that book, brother. Go read Men Who Hate Women. Go read that book. You don't know what, you have no fucking clue of what you're talking about right now.
And it's a very, very, very hard way. It's a very hard concept to try to describe to people who, for most of their life, or they have yet to experience what it means to be invisible since they were 14 years old.
Right. Yeah.
They don't know what that feeling is. And I thought the show did a really good job of the parents didn't see it.
Yeah.
The detectives didn't know it. But the second piece I thought they got really great was when
are ugly or whatever unattractive little girls, are they also not invisible? Do like to any girl or woman now, but any woman that was a girl that was ignored in high school, ignored in junior high school, maybe even ignored as an adult for the most part. Are we saying that women don't get ignored based on their physical attractiveness or lack thereof? I'm very curious. Like, so you're telling me like every girl gets attention? Every girl doesn't get attention, brother. This is an excuse. You're making an excuse for these little boys. He is doing the quintessential boys will be boys approach, right? Like, oh, it's so much harder for little boys to get ignored. Sir, hey, if you're a little boy and you're getting ignored, play a sport. If you're a little boy and getting ignored, go to therapy. If you're a little boy and you're getting ignored, do something to build yourself up, to make yourself, if that's what you want to do. I'm saying if you feel some type of way, you can actually address that. You could say the same thing to a little girl, I guess. But I'm speaking to the little boys. If you feel like you are being ignored, tell somebody, talk to somebody. Parents, pay attention, talk to your kids. Do something to give them confidence, help build their confidence. None of this is an excuse, though, to be a fucking incel. None of this gives little boys a reason to be violent to little girls. None of this excuses it. I don't give a fuck. Even for a child, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. I love kids. I truly do. I protect children. That is what it's all about, right? But I don't give a flying fuck about you feeling ignored. You don't have, because little girls are not out here killing little boys because they feel ignored. So I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You're not going to be able to use that as an excuse. Get the fuck out of here with that, sir. That's crazy.
They found out, oh snap, the kid's being targeted, the kid's being bullied. The victim apparently was a contributing member of this and she was leading the charge.
The little boy was targeting the girl. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at him. I'm trying to flip this. The little boy targeted the girl. She just called him out. She just called out his misogyny. If you're racist and you're online, I don't care if you're 13 years old or 14 years old, if you are online saying racist things and then somebody clocks your racism, they're not bullying you. You're the bully. You're the bully. Do you understand the concept of bullying? Bullying is about punching down. Bullying isn't about you're not bullying if you call out a person's problematic behavior. That's what the little girl did. She just exposed him for being a fucking incel. That was it. She didn't bully him. What the hell are you talking about?
And the things that she would say and the viciousness of how they were treating this boy, I'm not going to say what he did was justified. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch the show. If you didn't, it's your fault by now.
Yeah, exactly.
But the callous response that the woman investigator had when he tried to bring it to her attention, like, I think there's more that's going on with this case. And she said, I just want the attention to be on the victim, on the girl.
Yeah, she was right. She was right. We shouldn't forget the victim ever. The victim is the victim. The victim did not deserve that at all. She didn't earn that. She didn't, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't put herself in harm's way. That dude came at her. I almost forgot. The little girl, they shared revenge porn. Listen to what I'm saying. So all it took was for the little girl to call out that little boy's misogyny, and we got to feel so bad for the little boy, right? The little girl was a victim of revenge porn. She didn't kill nobody. And this motherfucker talking about, there's more to. Are you hearing this? Are you guys listening to this? This dude is supposed to be a psychologist. That's what I'm saying. I would never. Dude, seeing him is you're putting yourself in harm's way. He's not going to help you. This dude is not going to help you. Period. He's gonna exacerbate whatever bad circumstances or bad conditions you're in. He is gonna make it worse.
And what I would suggest is there were two victims. It's just that one died.
Right.
One lost their life, and one lost their freedom potentially for the rest of their lives. And what happens is that small little snippet is an example of the larger pool of what's going on. Yes, he did something wrong. Yes, he's the murderer. Yes, he needs to be incarcerated. I agree with all of that, obviously.
Where's the but, right? After you say that, there should be no but, right?
But the environment that created someone like that, we're so oblivious to the realities and perspectives of what young boys and men are going through. You don't get it.
The women are not oblivious. The little girl wasn't oblivious. She literally called it out. She knew exactly what was going on. She was right. She literally called it out. She knew exactly what happened to him. She clocked it a mile away. What do you mean? When you say we, you mean men. And men created this problem, by the way. So again, this is an example of us saying society using this vague terminology to like lump everybody in together to absolve the patriarchy of its responsibility of the harm it perpetuates, right? So now it's society is men and no. It was men. It's men. It's men. It's men that taught that little boy. It's men that fueled him. It's his friends that never checked him. It's the little boy that shared the revenge porn. It's the men that planted the seed in the little boy's head to make him feel entitled to a woman's body. It's the men that taught that little boy how to manipulate. Who taught that little boy to remember? He thought he could get in with that little girl because she was weak and because she was vulnerable. That's what he thought. He said, "Oh yeah, see, she's already been abused." He spotted her as a mark. He marked her. He was like, "Okay, yes, she's an easy victim. I target her. She's an easy victim because look, she got to be vulnerable." This is all stuff the little boy said in the show.
That for many men, they don't see feminism. Doesn't matter if they don't have the great working definition of it. Their experience of all these people who claim that identity you don't actually care about equality. That's a woman advocacy movement, or at least was up until recent debates about who can or can't be a woman. But prior to this debate,
Oh, and he's transmissive, right? This is a psychologist, a transmissive, misogynistic psychologist. Interesting.
it's always been for many people, and particularly many men, it's more so a women advocacy program, which is totally fine.
Mm.
But you cannot say that you care about men and that you're advocating for equality. And I'm going to list these things off, and I wrote them down to make sure I don't forget it.
Why would that? Why do women? Why are we always putting the onus on women to help their oppressor become a better person? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Women, all women are saying is men be better. Like, that's all they need to say to men. They don't need to do shit else for us because they're not doing anything to us. So when you say they don't care about men, what the fuck do you mean they don't care about men? What do you want it to look like? Them not calling men out anymore? Like, that's what you want, huh?
You don't care about mandatory paternity tests. You don't care about paternity fraud. You don't care about male suicide rates. You don't care about equalizing hard, laborious jobs outside. You don't want to equalize that. You don't care about what happens to people that are falsely accused, which is almost always exclusively men. You don't actually care about the declining school performance, the rise in ADHD diagnosis, and the psychiatric medication that comes from it. You don't care about the lack of homeless shelters for men. You don't care about the weaponization of the family court, the equal custodial rights, reproductive safe for men, reduction in child support and alimony, pathologizing of just men and masculinity in general, negative attitudes towards
Dude, this dude is a men's right. All these talking points are straight from men's rights activist websites. He is such full of shit. This dude is a piece of shit. I'm sorry, I gotta call it out. This dude is a piece of shit. I'm sorry. This is crazy. Man, what? Again, all these things are problems perpetuated by men, right? Men don't care about the suicide rate of men. Men created the court system that doesn't favor women, that favors men. Custodial parentship is decided 51% of the time outside of court. Men decide to abandon their kids. Men decide that the woman is the best suited person to take care of the children. What the fuck are you talking about? Men don't build men's shelters. Men they already tried it. We already did this. We've been down that road before. A woman established a fund, and a men's rights activist, a female men's rights activist, already tried this in the UK. And she built an organization to help men, like battered men or whatever. And it fucking fell apart in like 6 months because men didn't donate to it. You know why? Because fucking battered men aren't a real thing. Men aren't battered by women. There's not, and furthermore, men don't care about battered men. Even if there was a lot of battered men don't care about battered men. That's the thing. Everything he said, it got me shaking. I'm so pissed off. This dude is terrible. This dude is terrible. I don't know who this guy is. I'm gonna investigate this dude more. Everywhere he goes, I'm on his bumper. This dude is terrible. He is the worst.
Even men that want a nuclear family, you don't think or care about any of these things. And I'm not even saying it's just the feminists that don't care about it.
Nobody
I'm saying most people who don't do what I do don't care about this at all.
Those things are not things to care about. They don't hurt men. Men don't deserve access to a woman to have he tried to slip that in there. What do you say? Nuclear family. How the fuck? What are you even talking about? He was just saying stuff.
And you're creating, and we talked about this 80-20 rule. What's happening to the 80%? You don't.
That is an incel. 80-20 is an incel talking point.
Care.
Not good.
And the beauty is, if I just get the man I want, if I just get the partner I want, if I just I don't care. I don't care about what's happening with men. Let's bring the attention back to women. That's what the detective did in that show.
Right.
And that is what society in Western cultures is unfortunately like.
Oh, I see. He got some alcohol there on that table. That boy drunk. He been drinking. He been sipping a little bit. I see. Okay, we got to the bottom of it. I asked you, was it drugs? Was it disingenuousness? Or was he being a dummy? He drunk. Okay. Wow. This is amazing. How men play the victim every single time. But what about men? Dude, all of those problems are problems that exist because of the patriarchy. None of those problems have anything to do with feminism or feminists. Feminists want men to get health, to get their mental health together. Who is advocating? Who is actually out here advocating and fighting for men to have access to mental health? I'm sorry, to mental health tools like psychology, like being able to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, being able to get medication. Who is doing that? It ain't men's rights activists, brother. It's feminists. It's leftists. Those are the people that are fighting for that stuff. The very group of people who you're trying to lump in together with the fucking shitty men and be like, it's society. And no. It's a specific group of people. It's apathetic men who don't give a fuck about other men. And it's men with actual bad intentions and bad agendas like this, like him, and like men's rights activists, not giving a fuck about it, actively fighting against it. It's the men's rights activists, the men who ascribe to the ideologies that are espoused in men's rights activist groups are the very same men that would tell a man, don't cry in front of his woman. Women weaponize your vulnerability against you. You need to be stoic. Don't show your emotions. They're the same men. Are women saying that? Have you ever heard a feminist say, I don't want to see a man cry in front of me. I don't want to see a man share his emotions with me, share his true feelings with me? No, right? Okay, cool. So it has nothing to do with feminists. Or feminists are actually fighting for equity and equality. Men are not. Men are not.